Hello, my name is William Burnett, and you're watching Talk Video, and I'm sitting here with Black Merlin. Should I call you Black or Merlin?
Call me Merlin.
Merlin, nice to meet you. Nice to see
Yep.
you, Merlin. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming by.
George is fine.
George, also known by your close friends as George.
That's
So,
correct.
so you might catch me saying George every once in a while.
George Merlin's fine.
So, George Merlin. So Black Merlin is a project. A little introduction is a kind of a. It's a DJ, and you also make your own records, and it's this kind of a dark soundtrack club, a little bit of club, but slower BPM club project that you have, and you're doing this for a living at the moment. How's that going?
Yeah, it's good. It seems to have picked up a little bit more over the last few years. I suppose the more I've been releasing, the more diverse music I keep making. I suppose something like that.
Yeah. So it's allowing you to live off of music. You don't have like another job as like a dishwasher or something.
No, I kind of packed. I finished my job. There was a point I had to make a decision. I was trying to get time off work, and I had my first US tour kind of lined up, and I also had an expedition to Papua New Guinea, and they wouldn't give me the time off. Obviously, who would?
So you quit.
So I just handed my notice in and just went for it.
And so you're just going on the music now for the past how many years?
A couple of years, 2 or 3 years now, I suppose.
Congratulations.
Thanks, William.
And so let's go back. I was kind of thinking maybe I should prepare a little bit versus the last episode. But one of the questions I thought was, can you remember the moment when you first, got some gear and put it down and started to make music and record it? Do you remember that moment? What kind of setup you have, or what year it was, what age? Can you describe that a little bit?
Yeah, I suppose. Well, initially my dad he bought me a quasi MIDI Revolution 309. It's like a German drum machine, and this was way back in university, and I was just kind of touching on it and never really got really into it. And then I kind of packed my university studies in Derby, England, where I was studying art, and I decided to move to Manchester and do a sound engineering course, which was absolutely no help to me at all, because I'm terrible at listening to someone teach me something. Really, I need to kind of battle my way through it and not really read manuals. I'm terrible at reading manuals. So kind of from there, and then I eventually got like a Korg MS-2000, I think it was.
Yeah, future classic.
Yeah, and that kind of opened a lot of things for me. Like that was about 10 years ago, I think, or 9 years ago or something.
Okay, so then you sat down with your laptop and your sound card and by yourself or with other people?
Well, initially I used to work with Kyle Martin, who I do Spectral Empire with, and he taught me a lot of the ropes, helping me get my ideas down. I used to work in a very visual way. I think a very good way for producers to start off, I think, is to study someone like John Carpenter. I think for me that was a real sort of gateway, I suppose. It's very simple music, but really quite impactful, I think, and very visual.
Well, so you listened to the music and then you were like, oh, that's one. There's a rhythm pattern and there's a melody and a lead, and then you try to imitate that.
Yeah, in some ways, yeah, it's very clear what you need to do with this a kind of a John Carpenter track, taking nothing away from him and is it Alan Howarth, and taking nothing away from them at all.
Yeah.
It's good music, but you know.
So this was this. So you're saying this is about 10 years ago, and you're with Kyle Martin, right?
Mm.
Is he still around? I mean, I know he's still around, but do you still hang out with him and work on music, or is that you're living in separate cities now?
We're living in separate cities. I mean, we did do a release recently, but that was the first release, I think, in like 8 years or something. Or Kyle will probably know a little bit better than me on that one. But yeah, I mean, you know, he's one of my oldest friends, you know, so he works in different projects now, as like I work on different projects.
But that seems like the solo thing is going pretty well now. You know, you've put out records on every single label there is.
Yeah,
That's
well, yeah. So I suppose so. I mean, you set yourself goals, don't you? And I suppose maybe some producers like to stay in one, but the variety of music I try to make, I don't really want to just limit myself to to one style of music.
Yeah.
You know, maybe one release is not for everyone, and maybe another release is for somebody else. And I think that's kind of important. I don't expect everyone to like everything I make. How could it be like that?
So do you make the music and then shop it to labels, or do you like say, oh, I want to be on this label and I'm gonna make this style, or a mix of both?
I don't know. I suppose it used to be a lot harder. I mean, when you start out, nobody's kind of interested in it. It seems to be a lot harder when you're first starting out to kind of get music released. I'm not saying the more popular you get, the more labels jump on you, but I think the more you work your music, the better you get.
Yeah.
But I also would say that when I first started making music, it's a lot more punky, you know. It's you don't really think about levels, you don't think about this or that, and you're happy you've come up with an arpeggiator or something. And I have listened to some of my old tracks, and they're just, you know, it seems like a different person, but also, you know.
Yeah. So another person that I'm more familiar with, and it's also the way that I met you, is you have a project called, I never know if I'm saying it right, Caramica.
Ceramica. Ceramica.
Is it right with my accent?
Yeah, correct. Perfect.
Ceramica.
Absolutely
And
beautiful.
you're working with Gordon Pohl, who's an old friend of mine, part of the like Dusseldorf Salon de Amateur crew.
Yeah.
Can you tell me how you met Gordon?
Yeah, it's kind of a strange one. I went to this I went to the salon with Johnny, Kyle, and Taco, and there was quite a lot of people who were down there. I think Detlef was there, and Stable Elite guys were there, but Gordon was never there, and I think he really wanted to meet us. So it was kind of when I was just starting out on my own, and for some reason I wanted like some German vocals, and it was on times with MySpace, so I was communicating through MySpace, and yeah, I think he might tell a different story, I don't know, but I never got these German vocals, but he just asked me out of the blue to come over, and I was like, wow, you know, he's like really respected, and he was like, he saw something in me, which is what you need when you're a young producer, for someone to like have faith in you like that, and to, you know, to guide you and to teach you, which he has done, you know.
Okay. Yeah. So for those that don't know, Gordon Pohl, he was a member of Music Cargo, and I know that now he's mastering a lot of stuff and producing a lot of bands. I mean, you can look him up on Discogs or whatever you want, but he does some stuff that people respect. But he was DJing as a little kid, like teenager, like in Ibiza or Formentera with his father, and so he's been around the music scene for a while, and somehow he ended up in Dusseldorf, which is this scene, and he doesn't really people don't really know, but he's a part of it. You know, there's people that are more popular now. It's like Lena Willikins, him and they used to work behind the bar together, and no tapping on the table. They used to work behind the bar together. Detlef, who's Toulouse Tracks, was working there. Ralph from Unit 4 was going there. And then eventually Vladimir and this whole scene. But he's a part of this thing, but he's a quiet one. So just a little more information about this guy.
I would say that.
And you're doing this project, Ceramica.
Ceramica.
One day I'll get it right. And then,
Yeah.
which has come out now. You did a record on ESP Institute.
Yeah.
And there's another one coming now, I heard.
We did originally with Andrew on ESP, and then we did a 12-inch on Neubau, a label from Vienna. Now, April time, we're going to release on Vladimir's label, Often Music.
Okay. So then the festival gigs are going to flow.
I just try to get Gordon out of his little compound.
He can bring the dog on the plane.
Yeah, sure, that'd be amazing.
He can just sit on the stage with earmuffs.
Yeah.
But so this is all the music stuff, and it's quite interesting. But we all kind of know how this works. You go in your house and you make weird tracks and you put them out on records. But another aspect of your life that has been very interesting to me that some people might not know that went into your music is that you were doing field recordings. And somehow these field recordings have taken you on some strange adventures. And one that you mentioned today when we were at lunch is that there's a volcano that you need to go back to, and I was just like, okay, can you tell us what volcano is this? Where is it, and why do you need to go back there?
It's basically it's a collapsed volcano, which it last erupted something ridiculous like 100,000 years ago. So it's not a volcano as such with lava or anything like that. It's not active, but it's been taken over by jungle basically. So all around the walls and everywhere. So when you're inside, you don't feel like you're in a volcano. You still feel like you're in the jungle, but it's immense. It's huge. I mean, a helicopter would look like a pinprick if it was flying over the top of it. It's massive.
And where is this?
It's in Papua New Guinea in the Southern Highlands, and it's a very remote place.
Is it like the volcano that formed the islands, or is it like
it's pretty much in the centre. So I mean, you can see on the south side of it where the lava would have flown down to the ocean. I mean, it's very far away from the ocean, but you can still see.
Yeah.
It's a big volcano. I mean, the walls are like 1.5 miles high. It's maybe a mile across. It's huge. It's really huge, and really, it's very, very daunting place to be.
So you've been to this volcano once before, and you're recording audio and maybe shooting some video, taking some photos. Did you have like a purpose why you were doing it, and you weren't able to finish that, so you have to go back now, or what's going on? Like, why are you going to a volcano in Papua New Guinea?
Well, initially, I mean, I've been 3 times to Papua New Guinea. The last 2 times I've been spending it with the Kasuri tribe. The first time I went, which was the second time I went to Papua New Guinea, and I stayed with them, and the actual base village where I stay is called Siena Falls, and you can see Mount Basavi in the distance, and I used to sit at the hut where I used to sleep every night, and I used to just look at it, and it's a very, very, very powerful thing. And I was like, one day I'm gonna walk to that volcano, and I'm gonna go inside the volcano. I mean, don't get.
So you just saw it and you're like, I want to go there.
Yeah, I'm no fitness fanatic. I'm no military training or any kind. I'm just like a normal guy, and I just. Yeah, I mean, the second time stayed with the tribe, I was like, yeah, I want to go. Take me, and I went with basically kids who took me there.
Oh, so they're like teenagers or something.
My guide Sinai, I think he's 18 or 19. He was my main guide, and then we had.
And you're speaking English or French or what would you?
Well, Sinai he speaks English. The rest of them spoke no English at all. And we had like two cooks, two young girls who were cooking food for us every night, who must have been 12 or something, 13.
Jesus Christ.
And then the carriers, the lads, yeah, they were like 14, 15 years old, and
so you just showed up and just rustled these people up, or
no,
you organized it before?
No, they knew I was coming back the next year to come and do it. Okay. So they knew, but all the elders or all the older guys, they'd done it so many times. They don't want to. Okay. They don't want to go back there because it's not.
What for?
Yeah, and it's also not a very enjoyable journey. It's.
And so is this is like a tropical
yeah
area? So it's quite humid and it's bugs and.
Yeah, it's in the inside Mount Besavi. It's like 100 humidity. Yeah. Ascending up Mount Besavi, it gets cold because you're going really high, and the the landscape changes from like jungle to like the higher up you go, you're going into this kind of moss forest, which have got like birds of paradise nests, and you're climbing underneath logs, and it's like really stuff you can't really imagine exists, really.
So what you're seeing, wildlife. There's like dangerous wildlife, and then there's beautiful wildlife, and maybe some stuff in between. What kind of stuff were you coming across? Like there's like snakes or birds or.
Yeah, you get snakes.
Bears. I don't even.
No. In New Guinea, there's no like
mammals. Like squirrels.
You don't get monkeys. You don't get cats. You don't get big predators at all. You get you've got to watch out for the snakes. But
what's the top of the food chain there besides the humans? Is there like a ox or something or?
Probably wild boar. There's huge wild boars. Cassowary birds as well are very, very dangerous. They're like almost like emus, but they're very aggressive birds that will come
after you.
Yeah.
Like a big ass goose.
Yeah, like you get really, the eggs are like dinosaur eggs, like amazing things, sort of green eggs.
I can't understand like why you're doing this. Like it's just a pure adventure or just.
I don't know. It's just something. It's just I never thought I'd be doing something like this. It's totally out of my character to kind of do this. I'm quite a cautious person.
Yeah.
But when I'm over there, I just change into a different person. I feel kind of a lot more myself. You've got no. You're focusing in on the moment. There's so many things that can go wrong. They have to be 100% switched on and concentrating with every footstep.
So do you think that other people should do this kind of stuff, or has it helped you?
Yeah, it's definitely helped me. Yeah.
And what, just to appreciate things more, or what's the?
Well, it's taught me that you've always got 2 or 3 more levels inside you. I've been to my absolute limits and more over there, and just it's too much. Even just the jungle, just going on and on and on, and it's just never ending. Just you've got nothing left in the tank, and you've still got it. You've got to keep going. You've got to keep going.
So you brought everything with you. You bring all your food and your water, and you're not picking up some bananas on the way, or
Well, the food runs out pretty quickly. I do take survival food, these packs. But the
it's just
yeah,
like gels and stuff.
well, you get like sort of meatballs and sausages and beans, but it's just
Or
like,
just like cans of
it's
stuff.
horrible.
Yeah.
It just gets horrible. It gets so plain. So when one of them offers you a pineapple, or it just tastes like the best thing in the world,
Yeah.
you know, you really appreciate food in some ways.
Starbucks.
Yeah, well, it's no Starbucks, but that would be, yeah. I mean,
It's quite a change from your Western life.
yeah, yeah.
And so you went on that trip and you made it through this. I guess it was on the second trip that you recorded more stuff, or you did that also. The second one you were more pro with the audio.
I mean, the first trip I was recording a lot more audio.
Oh, you were. Okay.
I mean, my first trip to with the Kusui people, I was doing a lot of audio recording, but I also took some cameras. I'd made a few mistakes and missed a few real magic moments recording it on my phone, which
Yeah.
I still kick myself to this day, because those situations will never be repeated. But yeah, I mean, the second time I went, yeah, I was, you know, I had drones. I had about 3 GoPros,
Oh, I didn't
the
know that.
cameras.
Jeez.
And you've got also the logistics of all that is there's obviously no electricity. You've got to make sure your batteries are backed up every night. Power banks. You know, I didn't even think about my drone batteries. You know, it's like I charged them up in the UK,
Yeah.
and then I was there and it was like,
80% when you arrive.
yeah, right. So you've got to wait for the moment where you think, right, this is a good opportunity to send the drone up, or you know. And I had the idea of, like, I was going to get up to the top of Mount Vesavi and I was just going to send the drone over the top of the volcano, and it's like, how ridiculous thinking is that?
So what, you're going to bring like a gas and a generator or some solar powered something, or
Well,
I'm sure you explored the options.
I mean, I took solar panels. I took a couple of portable solar panels, but obviously if it's a cloudy day,
Yeah.
well, they're not going to work. So the second time I went, I took 4 power banks. I mean, getting all this stuff through the airports with all these batteries and power banks and drones and cameras, and you think you could get to, I mean, I go via Dubai or somewhere, the airport could go, right, well, you're not bringing them through, there's too much, you can't take that on the plane. And that's me finished then. You know, it's like, yeah, I can go there, but I'm not going there for the objective that I wanted to go there
And then
for.
you're going to have to like draw pictures.
Yeah, which is, yeah.
Oh, you could learn, you know, like Ansel Adams. And,
Yeah.
But so this, you went on a third trip recently, and you're back alive. Praise the Lord and Moses and all those people.
Yeah, I think my mum was very happy I'd come back. I think she was. She probably doesn't say she's worried, but you know,
Of course she is. We're all worried. She must be even more worried.
you know, but I'll phone her up I'll be excited, and I'll phone her up on the satellite phone. I'll just be going, yeah, I've just done this river crossing, and
I almost died.
it was, you know, and I can hear, you know, like, she'll probably watch this, and you know, I can hear it in her voice. So now I have
You can't do like an imitation.
I have to dilute it down a little bit, you know.
I wouldn't be able to understand. All right, so I'm here with Black Merlin on a talk video, and we're talking about this crazy trip he's going on. And is there a fourth one planned?
Yeah, November. I was trying to go in November because of the weather.
For Thanksgiving.
I will go as much as I possibly can.
And any plans? I mean, so you're doing this which is just ridiculous, and in conjunction with, or you're also at the same time producing music and being a DJ. You see a time where your trips to Papua New Guinea and these explorations are gonna outweigh the music stuff, or
If I could do going to Papua New Guinea for the rest of my life, I would quite easily. I mean,
so you just go over there and just build a hut.
I have to be careful what I say, but I would, if I could, I would spend half a year out there if I could. I mean, there's nothing more important to me than that place.
Yeah,
Really.
And that's great. I hope it works out for you.
Thanks, William.
I know you said you were a little nervous coming in here, and I'm glad that you came and did this with us. But I don't want to keep you too long. I just want.
Are you all right?
I want to make sure everything's okay. So when you go back, you're in New York now. You've been on a little tour doing the DJ stuff.
Oh yeah.
And you're still bringing the records around. And you went to I don't know where you went before. You went to Canada, Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal.
That's the only other place you went so far.
Mm.
Montreal, and then New York. You played at Le Bon,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird. And then now you're in Brooklyn for a few days. You did Beats in Space, and you're gonna head to Mexico next. Guadalajara, you said.
Yeah, Mexico. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow you're going to Mexico,
Mm.
and then to California.
No, what I do? What? Tijuana.
Tijuana. Oh man, you should do that thing. There's this thing where you go and they get all the gringos, as you're going to be called, and you can you stand in a circle, and you hold on. One person holds the spark plug, and then you hold hands with people, and you go in a circle.
Oh yeah.
And the guy pulls the chain and just shocks everybody. And the first person to let go, they lose.
Oh my God.
You should play that game.
Yeah, it sounds fun, man.
But so that'll be fun. You'll have a good time at Tijuana, I guess.
Yeah.
Be careful, don't lose your shoes.
Okay.
And then, so how do these trips compare? I mean, I can't even imagine you're going on these backpacking things with solar panels, and then you're going to Le Bon and staying at a hotel.
Mm.
I mean, what is it like? Some kind of shock, or how do you?
I don't know. It's
Just paying the bills.
It's kind of a similar thing when I come out of where I've been for a month, and I eventually make my way back to the capital, Port Moresby. Before
Wait, say that the Port Moresby.
It's the capital of Papua New Guinea's Port Moresby.
Okay.
So that's where I hold down for a few days just to rest up before I have to.
Okay.
Get my international flights, and yeah, it's. I mean, a week before that happens, that's all I'm thinking about, because the hardest thing over there is food. I'm just thinking of burgers, and my tobacco runs out, and coffee, and once I get in that hotel room, I just go to town basically.
Oh geez, so I don't know, man. You got a crazy dream.
It's kind of weird. I know that's kind of weird.
So, is there a final product that you want to Is there you want to make something to share with people to show what a special place it is, or you want people to see your experience?
Yeah, I suppose yeah, there is. I suppose I suppose I'm working my way up to making a documentary, but I realise it's a bigger thing than I thought it was. I mean, I've got a lot of footage, and I will continue.
Well, does it have to be a documentary? Can it be some sort of other thing, like somewhere in between? Some cross between art and.
Yeah. I mean, the subject.
Just throw it all. Just put it all together and let people watch it.
I mean, the subject matter is amazing. I mean, the stuff I've got on film is incredible. Really, some really, really incredible moments I've got. And, just to go back a little bit to it, there was one time where they brought this...
pass me the wine real quick.
They brought this lizard, which I thought was a lizard. And it was about... I don't know. It must have been just less than a metre long, and they was telling me this was like a baby, basically, and it's this species that's not known to the Western world, basically, and
So it's like a dinosaur or something.
it's a crocodile basically that lives it lives in the trees in the jungle, and this was the baby basically, and you could see the skin that it wasn't a lizard, it was like really hard
Yeah.
thing, and they call it a Richard. They call it a Richard. So it's out there, and the BBC were going to send researchers in to go find it.
Are they just joking with you and just saying that? Or?
No, it's for this thing's for real.
Richard.
It's a they call it a Richard.
And you have footage of the Richard.
Yeah, I've got footage of the baby.
Did you eat it?
No, surprisingly, it didn't get eaten because I've seen them eat like this thing called a woolly rat, which was, it's like this big, and they caught them inside the volcano. So they have all.
A woolly rat.
Yeah, it was no rat that I'd ever seen. It was like a sort of.
And you didn't have any?
I passed on the woolly rat.
Why?
I mean, I'll show you pictures when this is finished,
Jeez.
and
It's too ugly.
Yeah. So that species of whatever that was will only live inside the volcano. You have only species that live inside the volcano that they don't live outside the volcano.
It's like Tasmania or something.
It's got its own unique.
Habitat.
Basically, nothing can escape.
Jesus. And I can't. I would have eaten the woolly rat.
I mean, I'm sure I'll get the chance to eat the woolly rat again, but on that particular
you could
occasion,
probably make a burger out of it,
yeah,
or something. I don't.
yeah.
I don't know.
We were kind of run out of food at that point. We only had rice left, so they had to go find some food, really.
And you just had rice.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I don't know where we go from there. You're eating woolly rats in volcano, and now you're in Brooklyn drinking natural wine.
Yeah, it's nice wine.
Quite a luxurious life you're living.
Thanks.
So what's next when you go home? What's the next? What's besides the trip to? What about your music stuff? You got some stuff coming out people can look for and buy.
Yeah, I mean, there's always stuff coming out. I need to maybe a little bit slow down on my releases, maybe not. I don't know.
I think record sales are down in general, so I think record labels are going to be more cautious.
Yeah, I mean, I can't stop. I mean, I'm working all the time on music, so I mean, I'm prepared to keep releasing if people want to keep hearing it. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I want to maybe turn my attention a lot more to playing live. I think there's a lot more in that for me. I think there's a limit. There's limits with DJing, really.
Yeah.
I think any DJ knows that, and I think once you start to play live, it's infinite, really. I suppose the idea is it's just a matter of it's up to you, isn't it, where you want to take it.
Yeah, and I don't know. The logistics always scare me.
I mean, that's the downside of it, isn't it? But it's like losing, equipment getting lost on planes, and that's.
I mean, if it was like out of tune, I would just not even be able to play.
Yeah.
What do you play on this keyboard that's out of tune? Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, I mean, you was mentioning that last night as
What do you
well
want me
with
to do,
with the obviously with the heat and stuff like that. If you're lucky enough to play somewhere warm, but you just go play somewhere cold, don't you, William?
I
And
guess so.
it's like sorted.
All right. I feel okay with that. We're gonna end it up now, and George is gonna go smoke his cigarette, stand in the window. Black Merlin, check him out. This has been Talk Video. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you next time.
Thanks, William.